This is a podfic of The Shore's Lonely Ghosts by Solitary Bird, narrated by Solitary Bird. This fic is a Harry Potter Silmarillion crossover and is rated T for angst. Luna, freshly saved from the dungeons of Malfoy Manor, finds an old ghost on the beach, and maybe they both get the strength they need to go home. Luna wanders the beach alone, up and down the strand like a woman possessed. Harry, Ron and Hermione are plotting something, and as much as she wants to help them, she's still coming to terms with the fact that she's been held hostage and tortured for months, and that her father might not be alive anymore. The Snatchers are brutal. They won't take anything other than immediate capitulation into account. Hermione had told her that her father hadn't immediately sold them out. As comforting as that was, it wouldn't help him survive the wrath of Voldemort's lowest-ranking servants. A lot of the Snatchers were werewolves under the command of Fenrir Greyback, and had a similar amount of mercy in their bones. She tried to send a message to her father, but wandless magic is hard, and nothing returned in response to her words. Even if he was sulking, even if he was ashamed, her father would not let her worry that he was hurt or worse dead. It's far too dangerous to even think about sending an owl. There's no small chance of it being intercepted. The only option that Luna has left is to go home and hope that she's not walking into yet another trap. Still she tarries here by the water, too scared to go and too worried to stay in the house. The sea's waves are timeless. Luna steps into the cold, wet impressions her bare feet have left behind under the light of the moon. The wards of Bill and Fleur's house extend a fair way into the ocean and out into the heathland grasses, so it's as safe to be out here as it is to be anywhere in this country at the moment, a thought that isn't particularly comforting. There's a small cave down by the furthest edge of them. She probably shouldn't be so far from everyone, so close to the perimeter of the wards, so easy to be stolen away again should they fall, but the house is filled with grief and fear. It swamps her when she sits in the kitchen or the small living room as everyone else moves around her with purpose. Luna feels like a ghost, like she's left her body behind in Malfoy Manor, not just her wand. Walking to the cave gives her purpose. Something is waiting for her there. Water drips from the ceiling of the cave. When the tide is in, the whole thing is submerged beneath the waves. It means that she has to keep an eye on the watch Fleur has kindly lent to her, to not get caught out by it. Surviving the torture of Bellatrix Lestrange and the constant threats of being fed to the werewolves only to drown would be amusing, but it's not a fate Luna wishes to tempt. Her friends have already buried one of their own on this shore. She won't make it too. Now, when the sea is retreating, it leaves little pools behind in the uneven stone. Tiny crabs hide beneath the rock pool pebbles, and once she saw a pale starfish with 5 delicate arms, but they are not the only things that are hiding here. Luna slips on the slick seaweed-covered floor, worn smooth red stone beneath, but she manages to right herself before she falls into the water. Her exclamation of fear echoes in the small space, the vibration shaking loose a few small stones that plop into the water. Her eyes follow the ripples out to the edge of the pool and find what she came here looking for. Who she's been coming here every day for almost a week to see. A ghost. One so old he's only really an echo of a person's memory. Luna's seen many ghosts. Hogwarts has its fair few of them, but the magical world is generally littered with the spirits of those that cannot or will not go on to whatever waits for them after death. Wixen have a strange inability to let go of the mortal realm, an obsession with remaining even if what's left of them is only a lesser version of what they had once been. This ghost has long straight hair that falls about his face like a curtain that hides his eyes and mouth from her. He wears a tattered cloak covered in faded stars. Like her, his feet are shoeless, and he looks just as lost, just as afraid as Luna feels. Most nights she just stands by him, so that he's not alone. His face, when she has seen it, he'd been spooked by her first appearance, is weighed by the kind of grief that has long since grown into despair. An endless maw which swallows all hope. He's never spoken. In fairness, it doesn't seem like there is enough left of him to do that. Ghosts can sometimes just run out, their spirit entirely consumed. Luna stands by him again tonight. It's the last time, though neither of them know it yet. It's time for both of us to go home, she says softly. Her words are so quiet, in fact, that the drip of water from the ceiling almost drowns them out. It's a decision that's painful, to tear herself away from the numbness of not knowing and throwing herself back into the fire. The war won't wait forever, and whatever has indeed become of her father won't matter if she can't overcome her avoidance of it. There are going to be days in the coming weeks and months that are going to require much more from Luna than this. She needs to be ready, and the first part of that is going home. He turns to her and sighs. The air around him resonates like the air in a concert hall does after the last note has been plucked on some great stringed instrument. It thrums. They'll never forgive me. His voice is just as quiet as her own, but there is power in it, more than you would expect when looking at what's left of him. The same music lies in it, lies in every one of his movements. Luna thinks of her father, who had betrayed her friends, betrayed them in an effort to keep her alive, to get her back, but betrayed them all the same. She feels compelled to say something in return, despite knowing nothing of the circumstances that have brought and kept him here, to comfort him however she can. Maybe they won't, she says, and he flinches back from her like Luna struck him, but he does not flee further into the narrow spaces of the cave where she cannot follow. He's still listening, still watching her every move with wide, haunted eyes. But forgiveness is theirs to give or withhold. Penance will always be yours. They cannot see it if you do not give them the chance to see it. You don't understand. I've done terrible things. The music slows, notes played unsurely by tired fingers. His despair is her own. Can she go home? Can she go home and forgive her father, who had acted out of fear for her, out of love? Can she do that knowing that there's a chance that her father is dead and she'll find her heart can't forgive him? Can she forgive herself for putting him in the position in the first place? No one starts life evil. Try and remember the person you were before. You'll just have to do equally wonderful things. They won't absolve you, but trying to make the world a better place is an honourable quest. Luna's words, they sparkle on the end of her tongue, white hot like metal that's newly pulled from the fire. They are words that hover in the air around them, humming their own notes to some forgotten song. Her companion smiles sadly at the tears that have begun to fall from her own eyes. He raises his hand as if to reach out and brush them away, but remembers halfway that he's a ghost, that his hand will simply pass through her. Not quick enough for Luna not to see the terrible burn scars that he bears on his hand, though. Maybe that's part of how he died. It feels entirely too rude to ask, as much as the Hogwarts ghosts tend to love horrifying the students with tales of gory executions and murder. This ghost feels different. She lets him keep his secrets. It wasn't your fault, he says. Evil things happen to too many good people. Luna's eyes sting. The salt of her tears bites the delicate skin around them. She blinks. 1/10 of a second is all it takes for him to disappear. When she opens her eyes, he's gone.